The latest news from the financial markets around the globe presented by CentFX, your reliable partner in trading.
Last Friday, Meta traded at $597, rising by 4.3%. The surge was driven by strong earnings results and investor optimism about Meta's AI expansion plans. The S&P 500 rose 1.5%, the Dow Jones gained 1.4%, and the Nasdaq Composite also advanced 1.5% last Friday. Wall Street has now fully recovered the losses incurred following Trump's announcement of sweeping reciprocal tariffs. U.S. natural gas futures traded above $3.65 on Monday, set for a 15% weekly gain, driven by a drop in output and record liquefied natural gas exports. The New Zealand dollar rose to around 60 cents, extending gains from the previous session, supported by continued U.S. dollar weakness. Ether traded at around $1,800 this Monday, decreasing by 0.7% in the last 24 hours. Looking back, over the last 4 weeks, Ether gained 14%. Now let's review the major economic events of the day. At 4 a.m., Indonesia to release the gross domestic product growth rate for the first quarter, following 5% in the fourth quarter of 2024. At 7 a.m., the annual inflation rate in Turkey is expected to decrease, after reaching 38% in March. At 2 p.m., the U.S. will release figures for the Services Purchasing Managers Index of April, following 50.8 in March. Tomorrow's major economic events. At 12:30 p.m., Canada to release the balance of trade for March, following a trade deficit of $1.5 billion Canadian dollars in February. At 12:30 p.m., the balance of trade in the U.S. is expected to decrease, after reaching a trade deficit of $123 billion in February. At 2 p.m., Canada will release figures for the Purchasing Managers Index of April, following 51.3 in March.
And that's it for today's Market News Roundup, presented by CentFX. Thanks for joining us today, and be sure to tune in again tomorrow for more financial news.